The Rule of Jenny Penn is a new movie that's from New Zealand that just released, and it stars John Lithgow and Geoffrey Rush. It's directed by James Ashcroft. I went into this movie really just hearing about it. There weren't that many movies. There's a bunch of new releases coming out this week with like Opus, Novocaine, Black Bag, the Looney Tunes movie, but there were not that many, and I wanted to see this film, The Rule of Jenny Penn, because I saw an article saying how it was a very sick, disturbing movie. I love horror movies. I'd never heard of this movie, and Geoffrey Rush and John Lithgow are two storied performers. Of course, I'll always love Geoffrey Rush from his role in Pirates of the Caribbean as Captain Barbossa, but John Lithgow is just a legend, and seeing him, who's going to be Dumbledore, and he's 80 years old, I gotta think about that, for he's going to be on that show for 7 seasons. He is crazy in this movie in a great way. He's manic. Lord Farquaad is just going bonkers in this movie, and it's great. It's basically about 2 nursing home patients who kind of have this rivalry, but the only reason is because John Lithgow's character is a psychopath who lives in this nursing home who torments Geoffrey Rush. Geoffrey Rush was a judge in New York who had a stroke, and now he's in this nursing home. He doesn't want to be there. He's a great main character. Most of the movie, basically the entire movie, is all older actors, old people, and it all takes place in a nursing home. It is very entertaining for a lot of it. It honestly flew by. I think it's because there's a lot of tension and unease. The camera work is really great. It really looked so good, and I love the choice to kind of like film a lot of empty spaces. There's a scene where everyone's dancing. You just see like the top of their heads and the whole ceiling, and it just feels like they kind of mine everything they can from this nursing home. So it never really gets boring to watch or to be in that world. It's really solidly crafted. I do think, though, and I really do feel this way, like when I was watching it or when it was over, that it's a very basic movie that kind of just covers the essentials of what you should have, but it doesn't add that extra, like that oomph, that juice that a movie needs to stand out, where you just have that either twisted reveal or that moment that you know kind of raises the hair on your arms. This movie didn't really have that. There were moments where it was getting close, where basically I just wanted to know why John Lithgow carries around this baby like hand, this puppet of like a doll, like a baby. Why does he carry it around? Why does it have hollowed out eyes? Why does he like torture people? Maybe you don't need that. Maybe that's kind of the point, that he's just kind of a psycho. But they allude to him having been in this home for years, and they show photos on the wall. I just wish that there was something else, even the way the movie ends. But it just kind of ends in a very simple way. It feels like almost a Hammer horror movie, also because the accents, although this movie's from New Zealand, but it just has a very simple, twisty ending that just wraps things up kind of neatly. I just wish, I guess, that there had been something this movie did a bit more of. I thought it was a very great, interesting new horror movie, but it wasn't anything that I'm going to think, wow, that really was great. And the way this movie was marketed with the creepy baby head and just 2 old people going after each other, I thought this would be way more intense. But it is solidly crafted. It was very enjoyable, and I wasn't bored by it. But I wanted that more craziness. I wanted to see John Lithgow turn things up to an 11. There was a scene that felt like Clockwork Orange, but I wanted more of that in a way. It was still a very bold movie, so check out The Rule of Jenny Penn. I did enjoy it a lot, and I do hope people go see this movie. So go check that movie out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe.